in this post, you wrote, or somebody on your comms team wrote, that using the correct pronouns impacts trans people's health, can reduce the risk of depression and suicide. That's a pretty serious claim. It seems like if you're going to demand people use these pronouns, you would know what they mean, right?
I delegate. 23andMe had a lot of people. We had six,
Right.
seven.
You were
people.
CEO, though, right?
I was CEO, but it doesn't
Okay.
mean I can oversee every single post.
Well, this is a very, very politically charged post that you guys put out. I would think that you would have a view on that. Can you tell us what is the difference between Z and Z? One of them is ZE and one is XE.
I'm not up to speed on that.
Okay. Does it concern you that not understanding this might increase the risk of depression and suicide amongst trans
What
people?
you just saw is Representative Brandon Gill saying what a lot of people are thinking but rarely hear said out loud. This hearing started as a conversation about data privacy, but it quickly turned into something bigger. It became a moment where corporate activism, political messaging, and accountability collided in real time. Brandon Gill challenged a former 23andMe executive over the company's public promotion of pronouns and social policies, and the responses were revealing. In my opinion, this clip highlights a growing issue. Companies are taking strong ideological positions without fully understanding or owning them. Whether you agree with Brandon Gill politically or not, it is hard to ignore that his questioning exposed a real credibility gap. We are about to watch the full exchange, and afterward, I will break down why I think Brandon Gill made a strong case and what this moment says about corporate culture and public accountability. If you care about sharp political analysis and honest reactions, subscribe to Congressional, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's watch the full clip.
23andMe has really, over the past few years, gone out of its way to show how woke it is. And one of the things that it's been promoting, amongst many others, is a variety of different pronouns. Here's a tweet that you guys put out in June of 2021. I just want to ask you, what does E mean as a pronoun? It's E.
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know what M means as a pronoun?
I'm also not sure.
Okay. Don't you think it's important to know what these mean? You guys are, in this post, you wrote, or somebody on your comms team wrote, that using the correct pronouns impacts trans people's health, can reduce the risk of depression and suicide. That's a pretty serious claim. It seems like if you're going to demand people use these pronouns, you would know what they mean, right?
I delegate. 23andMe had a lot of people. We had six,
Right.
seven.
You were
people.
CEO, though, right?
I was CEO, but it doesn't
Okay.
mean I can oversee every single post.
Well, this is a very, very politically charged post that you guys put out. I would think that you would have a view on that. Can you tell us what is the difference between Z and Z? One of them is ZE and one is XE.
I'm not up to speed on that.
Okay. Does it concern you that not understanding this might increase the risk of depression and suicide amongst trans people?
I support my research team that felt that, it's important for us to be inclusive of everybody, and it was very much grounded.
I agree, but it doesn't seem very inclusive if you don't know what they mean, right?
I respect the social team and the research team that put that post together.
But you don't know what any of these pronouns mean, but you guys are promoting it.
I assume it's different ways people like to be referred to.
What about here, HIR? What does that mean?
I don't know either.
What about fair, FAER?
Again,
You'd agree these are pretty unusual things, wouldn't you?
I think they represent a lot of the diversity in this country.
Okay, well, I'm trying to understand the diversity, and I'm asking you what they mean. I'll give you one more chance. Do you know what Z here, Z, Zim, fair, EM mean?
I do not.
Okay. Does that concern you that you don't know it? According to your own post here, understanding these and using the correct pronouns would improve your product for trans and non-binary people. It seems like this is directly related to the product.
Again, it was the social team and the research team that felt strongly around putting.
Well, you were CEO, so you can't pawn off responsibility to somebody else here. What about bathroom access on 23andMe's website? I've got it up here on my phone. There's a 23andMe blog, and there's a little subheading about bathroom access. Is it still 23andMe's official position that men should be using women's restrooms?
I'm not at 23andMe anymore.
Okay. Was it while you were at 23andMe?
I think we had non-gendered bathrooms as well.
Well, that's not what this is referring to. This is referring to laws that seek to force, in your own words, force trans individuals to use a restroom that does not correspond to their gender identity. Is it, while you were there, was it 23andMe's position that men should be using women's restrooms?
I think our position was just to make sure that we're applicable to laws.
That this isn't in reference. This is actually against laws that would stop people from using the wrong restroom.
Yeah.
So this is actually against laws.
I haven't seen, I don't have that post in front of me, so I can't comment specifically.
Was it 23andMe's position while you were there that children should be transed? Because that's on this website as well.
I don't know specifically what you're referring to.
I can read you a little bit about it. Supports gender-affirming healthcare such as hormones in surgery for trans youth.
I think 23andMe referred specifically some of the pediatric guidelines.
Sounds to me like you took a genetics company, which you built, and congratulations for doing that, and turned it into a woke social justice organization. You want to run away from that now. Doesn't sound like you even knew what you were talking about at the time. You don't know what any of these pronouns mean. And now realize that this is politically not very popular. Says a lot about where your convictions were and what you meant here. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, that was Representative Brandon Gill questioning a former 23andMe executive. And honestly, I think Brandon Gill came out of this looking prepared, confident, and justified. Here's why. Brandon Gill was not just criticizing for the sake of it. He exposed a contradiction. The company publicly promoted non-traditional pronouns and claimed that using them correctly could reduce depression and suicide among trans people. That is a serious claim. If you are going to link language to mental health and life or death outcomes, you should be able to explain exactly what you are promoting. But when Brandon Gill asked the executive to define pronouns like e, m, ze, xe, hir, and zim, the executive could not explain any of them. That raises an important question. If a company is going to influence culture, language, and social behavior, should the leadership not understand the message they are pushing? What I appreciated about Brandon Gill's approach is that he did not let responsibility get shifted to the social team or research team. He made it clear that leadership owns the messaging. You cannot promote controversial political ideas and then distance yourself from them when challenged. When the conversation moved into bathroom policies and gender-affirming healthcare for youth, Brandon Gill again pushed for clarity. Instead of allowing vague corporate answers, he forced the executive to either explain the company's stance or admit uncertainty. To me, this goes beyond pronouns. This is about corporate power and the growing role of businesses in shaping social and political narratives. If companies want to influence culture, they should also be prepared to defend and explain their positions. Brandon Gill's core point was simple and reasonable. If you are going to shape public behavior, you should understand what you are promoting and stand behind it. Some people will call this political or confrontational. I see it as accountability. Companies today are not just selling products. They are shaping public values. And if they want that influence, they should expect scrutiny. Overall, I think Brandon Gill controlled the conversation, exposed weak answers, and voiced concerns that many people already have about corporate activism without clarity. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Brandon Gill made a strong case, or did this go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you appreciate honest political breakdowns, and subscribe to Congress Lens for more sharp, direct reactions. This is Audrey, and I will see you in the next one.